Welcome to a fantastic time with me, Taher Houssain. Well, this is the second episode, so hopefully you have watched the first one. If you haven't, go and watch the first one because that was a bit of a train wreck, I'd say. No, it wasn't. I think it kind of was. That one was a little less organised. This one, I promised it would be a bit more organised, and it is. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. It might ramble on as we go along, but the first thing I want to talk about, because I think I want to just talk about my week, how it's gone, and some stuff. But firstly, something I came across last week. So I was on TikTok, as you do, just scrolling, just killing time, brain rotting, doom scrolling. You know how you know when you get bored and you're just like on a Tuesday night, just scrolling. You haven't got anything to do because you're just trying to kill time. And I came across this specific TikTok page. I came across it a couple of times, which I was kind of offended by just because the topic it related to, and it was coming up on my feed so much. I was just like, is TikTok trying to tell me something? Like, what's happening here? So, this TikTok page that I came across, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, if you're not in the South Asian community, but especially in let's say a Muslim community or like Hindus or anything like that, sometimes you have what we call a marriage CV. And for people out there who don't know, you'll be like, what is a marriage CV? Well, I'm going to tell you. So essentially, it's you basically put down all your details, your age, your height, what job you do, what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, etc. Like if you have children, if you're married before, all that good stuff. And you attach a picture of yourself, like a headshot or like a full body modeling shot or something like that, and you send it off into the ether for other people of, I don't know, your taste or who are interested in you. It's basically like Tinder, but it was on paper form. I'm pretty sure it's on you got Muzmatch and stuff like that, or it's basically like dating apps before they were dating apps. Like we were doing it beforehand. We're the original creators of dating apps, but just via paper. It was back in those days. But long story short, I come across this page on TikTok, and I won't out the page just because hey, there's people on there who are looking for people in a serious manner. They're looking for people to get married to and all sorts. But good God, I didn't think people would be using TikTok as a Tinder page. I know people like me on TikTok, me on YouTube, me Facebook, Instagram, wherever. But TikTok and putting your marriage CV or certificate or having your Tinder page up there, I was like, that's just crazy. And not in a sarcastic, not in an ironic way. It's very much serious. We're looking for people. And I think it's this marriage company that sends out people's CVs and is just the best place to put it? TikTok. Because we can guarantee that they'll get somebody off of there. And I just wanted to talk about this because one, it kept coming up on my page. I was like, I'm not ready for that, for one. And two, how dare you think I need this? I was just like, I'll go and find someone myself if I need to. I was just like, what are you doing? What are you trying to say about me? But anyways, I scrolled through some of the profiles because I was like, I want to see what these people are saying. And don't get me wrong, some of them are reasonable. They're like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who's open-minded, somebody who's family-orientated, somebody who's got a decent job. I'm like, okay, somebody who can provide. I'm like, okay, cool, they've got some nice requirements. And, some of the guys, they're like, I want somebody who has similar hobbies. Just really nice stuff, really nice, wholesome stuff. But then some people are asking for a bit much. You get what I mean? I think I saw one person on there. She had a GCS, top grades were GCSEs. That's it. No university, no nothing. And hey, you don't need university. You college. Yeah, I would say go to college. Go to college at least because that's always nice. Pick up a trade, pick up a skill. But she had just done GCSEs, 23, 24. I was just like, that's fair enough. Hey, to each their own. In her requirements, a man with a really nice job, somebody with a bachelor's degree. I was like, a bachelor's degree? I'm sorry, if you've got GCSEs and only GCSEs, you can't be asking for a bachelor's. You can't even be asking for a master's. I think I saw somebody asking for a master's degree. I said, that's insane. That's insanity. How are you asking for a master's when you've only got GCSEs? That's crazy. And some of them on there, they were like, this always makes me laugh. They were like 5'2", 5'3", sometimes even 5'4". I'll give you that. Man must be at least 6 foot. I was like, good God, are we doing this? Are we doing this on a? This isn't Tinder, love. This isn't Hinge. It's not even Bumble or Plenty of Fish. This is marriage CVs on TikTok, and you're demanding for 6 foot men. I was like, okay, let me look at what's happening here. 5'4". I was like, okay, cool. Job, unemployed. I'm just gonna put it out there. You can't be asking for 6 foot if you're unemployed. That's all. You can't be asking for 6 foot if you're 5'4" as well. Come on now, like there's some tall people out there who need some 6 foot people, and they're just not getting them. And to be fair, the guys aren't any better. Because one guy, because of course you're meant to put in, your details, like what job you do, family orientated, this, that, and the other, all this information. This one guy literally just had sex, male, height 6'1", and that was it. His personality was that he's 6'1". And I just sat there thinking, fair enough. But also, have a bit more to your entire personality. Cannot just be, I'm 6 foot or I'm over 6 foot. That's all I need. That's all I will ever have. Because guaranteed, his personality is probably like a wooden plank. God bless you, though. God bless you. I hope there is more to you than just 6'1", but I hope there's some substance. I hope there's something there. But yeah, no, like people are demanding. That's what I just realized. People are really demanding. People, they want the most. And some of these people were like 20, 21, and they were like, I want 6-figure salaries. I want a big house. I want this. I want that and the other. I was like, you're 20, you're 21. This isn't, you're not going after some Instagram model or some influencer. You're going for some regular people on TikTok who are looking for love. Because all I'm going to tell you is, these Instagram models, these influencers, celebrities, they're not on TikTok looking for love. I can almost guarantee you they've got other dating apps, and they've got a good selection. They've got a pool of people that they can pick from that aren't on TikTok marriage accounts. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. I just found that funny. I just found that crazy. I was just like, I didn't know that was a thing, but I was just like, hey, to each their own. If that's how you find somebody, respect to you. And if that's, if that's how you want to go about things, then who am I to judge on that front? Because, hey, everybody's looking for love. Everybody needs somebody, and everybody is lonely to a degree. So go and find some love. Go out there, find yourself a partner on TikTok. If that's really what you want, if that's how you want to go about it. I mean, Muzmatch, Tinder. I'm messing up all my words today. Bumble, all of those other apps are available. You might have to pay a pretty penny, but then again, the marriage business setup people that you paid to put your account or put your profile on TikTok are probably charging you as well. Probably charging you a bit more, to be fair. So to each their own how you want to go about it. But I found that absolutely wild, because I was just like, and especially like when people are like 20, 21 looking for marriage, I'm like, mate, you've just gotten out of college, you've just gone out of university, or you've not even gone for it, you get what I mean? And you're out here saying, yeah, I want to be married, I want to be settled down. I'm like, that's crazy. Go and live your life. I think, personally, if you ask me, you shouldn't really be married until like 20, like minimum, maybe 23, maybe even 25, because I'm like, you're still discovering yourself. Because I feel like, especially when you're a teenager, or let's say as an adult, for example, from the ages of 18 to 25, personally, I believe that you are always changing every single year, and the changes can be quite drastic, especially within that age bracket. Just because you're finding stuff out, about yourself. You're changing careers constantly. You're just searching for who you are and what you want to do and what you want to be, and the kind of person or the kind of people you want to be around. Like, that's a whole thing between the ages of 18 to 25. Because say if you go to uni, for anybody who's gone to uni, you change so much from year to year. The friends you had in first year, guaranteed they're not going to be your friends in third year. The relationships you have in first year, most likely, unless you guys grow together, build something together, those aren't going to be the relationships you have in third year. It's completely bonkers. And even after uni, the friends you have in third year will you guys keep in contact? Maybe for the first year, maybe for the first 6 months, but it's a real effort. A relationship is effort, it's trust, it's all of that. And I don't think a lot of people in this day and age, at least, especially where life expectancy is like 1,000,000,000 years old, like 100, 102, when back in the day you were dying at like 50 was like end of life, and now that's considered middle age. Think about that. That's crazy. But but yeah, like, to get married at 20, 21, unless you think this is the person, this is the one, and you're going to stay with them forever, good for you. I'm glad you found that, because I think there's something beautiful about finding that at a young age. Not a lot of people find that. And to find that at that age, and if you're that certain, go for it. But just know, it's a commitment, it's effort. And hey, I've never been married, but I've been in relationships, and I can tell you it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort. And yeah, I know, I just find that crazy that people are like, 21, I'm going to get married. But I'm like, you don't really know yourself. So to think you know somebody else or an entire relationship, unless you've been together for years, but even then, some people, they're together for 4, 5, 10 years, and they split still. So it's a journey. But all I'm going to say is TikTok marriage CVs, crazy. I never thought about it, but yeah. I mean, like, again, power to you, but it is a source of amusement for me, because some of the demands some people have, some people were like, must be slim. I was like, good God, that's a record. I was like, no one puts that on their Tinder bio, where it's like the most egregious stuff on there, or even on their Hinge or their Bumble, and you're out here putting it on a serious marriage CV. That's insane. I was just like, bloody hell, must be slim. I was like, how old are you? 34, unemployed. I was like, the demands are kind of crazy right now. They're a bit much, I must say, but power to you. But anyways, that was just my quick little ramble on some TikTok marriage CVs that I found last week, and have been literally binge scrolling for like the last couple of days, because I don't know, I've just been having a good time with that. It's a good source of amusement. I definitely recommend it for anybody. And and if you're looking for like actual suitors, go on there. There's a bunch on there. There's a bunch of pretty people on there. Go and do yourself a favor. And honestly, the comments, some of these comments, I will say, are crazy, kind of crazy. So go on there, look at the comments, because the comments are just as good as the profiles. I promise you that. So a bit about what's been happening with me. So last week, went to Dartmoor on the Monday. Like, that's important. And we did a photo shoot for my friend's. He's a fashion designer, he's a stylist, so he just wanted to get a couple photos. My sister's a photographer, so we were like, hey, let's get something together. He wanted me to model, did some of that, so you might see some of those pictures in the next couple of weeks on my Instagram. If you haven't followed, links are in the description. They're on my YouTube channel, so nice, easy. Follow me on Twitter as well. I know, shameless plug, but you have to do it, unfortunately. But yeah, no, did that, and we went down to Dartmoor. And I didn't, I've got a friend who lives down in Dartmoor, and she was telling me about wild ponies and wild horses that run around there. And I didn't believe it until I went down. There are actually, like down in Dartmoor, it's like plains. The roads, like beautiful country roads, like flat plains, and you can literally see for miles on end. There are a bunch of rolling hills, like anywhere in England. It's absolutely phenomenal. And we had to park up and go up to all these little horses. Like, they're borderline Shetland ponies. They're a step up from Shetland ponies. If they're a bit shorter, good God. But we got pictures with like tiny little baby ponies. They'd come up, eat strawberries out of your hand. It was incredible. Absolutely loved it. But yeah. So ended up going down to Dartmoor, did a photo shoot, absolutely amazing. Then the next day I had to rush down to Southampton to see a couple of my friends, which was quite nice. She's going off to, or one of them is going off to America for Camp America, even though she's 23. So I was just like, bit old, but I respect that, because America, why not? It's fun time, it seems like, and it's better than sitting around at home doing a crappy job for the summer. So yeah, to each their own. But yeah, no, went and saw her, did that, lovely, good stuff, good travels. And then the next day, literally, I was so tired, because I literally got back home at 12 o'clock and I had to be up at 5 o'clock to catch a bus at 6 to get to London, because I was meeting my agent to go over my career, to go over, like where I see my trajectory going, what I can be doing, and all that good stuff. And he gave me some really good advice, really lovely. We had a nice down-to-earth moment. And then afterwards, I just spent my time running around London, eating a lot. So yeah, it's just gonna be a bit of food adventures a bit now. So I ended up going to this place called Bunsik. You probably know it. It's a really popular place. Really, really good corn dogs. I mean, stupidly good. I've never had a corn dog, so I was just like, let me go in, let me have a chicken and cheese one, let me see what it's about. They put 3 sauces on there. Absolutely amazing. I was gorging on that thing. Like, absolutely. I was eating that thing, and it was just so good. It had no right to be that good. And honestly, I would have gotten a second one if I wasn't meeting my mate right after for like dinner. That was, yeah, I was really hungry that day. So I meet up with my mate and we end up going for I'm not sure if you know what Basque cheesecake is. I call it Portuguese cheesecake because I think they make it in Portugal and that's how it was introduced to me. But it's like the most airiest, lightest, tangiest cheesecake I've ever had. I think I prefer it to like regular cheesecake, New York style cheesecake, you know, the typical. And it's just because it's so light, it's so fluffy, and it's just so nice. And at least in England, whenever I go to Bristol, there's only like one cafe that I know that serves it. If you guys know any other place, maybe in London, that serves it, I went to this one place in Soho that sold it. Apparently they're a really famous bakery, really known for their Basque cheesecake, and it was just absolutely amazing. I think I had the salted caramel one. Like, I've never had salted caramel Basque cheesecake, but honestly, I'm about it. I'm completely about it. I'm in love with it, and I need it more in my life. And if there was one dessert that I could keep eating, it would be Basque cheesecake and also apple crumble. I love an apple crumble, especially with a bit of custard. A side of custard on the side. Let me know if you're ice cream or custard people, because I know some people don't do custard. Some people are all about ice cream because it's the warm, cold play. I don't know. I feel like having some warm custard on an apple crumble just does something. I feel like sometimes the warm cold play is a bit too much. Like, I know, for me at least, it hurts my teeth. Like, the temperature play can sometimes like just irritate my teeth. I think I might have sensitive teeth. I'm not sure, but I'm just like, no. That cold hot play sometimes isn't it. Sometimes you just want a nice bit of sweet, sickly custard. That's just, yeah, I could go for that right now, actually. I love a bit of custard. But also, afterwards, we went to a nice little barbecue restaurant. That was, yeah, if you want to know something about me, I love barbecue. I love, what was it, barbecue beef burnt ends. I don't know, just something about that, especially in like a burger or a slider. It just does it for me. And it was just absolutely amazing. I don't know, a part of me just loves London. And it was kind of crazy because I went from Dartmoor, basically wild plains, massive hills, like we went to an inn after the photo shoot, and it was just the most stereotypical British inn, like fancy dancy, very, 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 very nice, very well kept together. They had copper pots, so you know it's nice. So you know it's some fancy stuff. And I went from that on the Monday to on the Wednesday being in probably the most urban environment in the whole of the UK. And that whole like change and shift from going from the most rural place to the most urban place, it was just surreal. It made me have an appreciation for, I know, but both sides of the spectrum. I know, like, let me know if you feel that way, because I know some people are just completely city people, that they have to live in the city, they have to keep busy, they need noise, they need the hustle and bustle, and then they're the people who just want the quiet, they want the peace, they want the lulls, the calms, and they just don't want anything to be too serious or too loud or anything like that. They just want a slow life, and there's something beautiful in both those things. I think for me at least, I want to be in a urban environment for the most part. I think while you're young, I think you should be in a bit of an urban environment, unless you know it's not for you. If it's not for you, go and live in the suburbs, go on holiday, go to Australia. Actually, maybe don't go to Australia, because one, a lot of people do that from the UK, and two, there's a lot of things that will kill you out there. I'm not sure if they will kill you, but there's a chance. So, yeah. So do that at your own discretion, I guess. But yeah, no, it just gave me some food for thought in terms of, like, I love the rural, the ruralness of, like, England. Like, there's something great about it. I know people give England a lot of crap for not being, like, beautiful, whatever. I think there's a lot of beautiful fights. Again, I'm messing up all my words today. I don't know what's happening. There's a lot of beautiful sights. You've just got to I know, you just got to go and find it. I think you'll find the beautiful sites in the most rural parts of England, down in Dartmoor or in Somerset or like Wiltshire or anything like that, or even Sussex, to be fair. I think there's some really nice places around there. But if you're looking at probably, I know, like, let's say still a city but still beautiful, something like Bath. I like Bath, I like Bristol. But I feel like when you get to like the Bristol kind of Brighton area, because I feel like Brighton and Bristol are quite similar. When you get to that kind of like level, it's basically like an urban environment, but actually fun. I feel like if you want to go to a fun city, those two, they're definitely it. If you want to go for something that's calm, something that still gives you that rural feel, but it's still a city, Bath. Bath, it's where it's at. At least that's what I think. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And to round off my week, I ended up going to Exeter to see a friend, because I've got a friend, funny enough, who lives in Dartmoor. We actually missed each other when I went for the photo shoot because she was off somewhere else, but ended up meeting with her, catching up, lovely, and now we've signed up to do a salsa class at the end of the month. And to put it into perspective, I don't know how to dance at all. But you know, she made the claim that everybody knows how to dance, so you know, you've just got to try and put yourself out there. So I was just like, fine, I'll give it a try, I'll give it a shout, see how it goes, and I will update you. So that's at the end of the month. So that podcast that I record after my little salsa session will probably be uploaded in July. Like it's later on in the month. So it's gonna be a couple podcasts, couple episodes before you ever hear anything about it. But there's that as well. But yeah, no, it was nice. It was nice seeing my friends like over this week. I think it's important to spend time with your friends, especially when you get older. I feel like when you get older, when you've got a career, when you've got everything like that, you start to have less and less time for everybody, which is normal, because some people are working 9 to 5, some people are working like erratic hours. Because I know whilst I worked at World Duty Free, I was working 3 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 4 days off. You know, don't get me wrong, that's amazing. But then when you look at it, sometimes there'll be a period where your timetables just don't match for like a 3 to 4 week period with your friends who may be working 9 to 5s, and it's just hard to catch up. And especially when your friends are all across the country, that's absolutely crazy. So it's back to what I was saying about the whole university things, and relationships are effort, their time, their commitments. You've got to make the time for it. So I know it just goes to show, like, over time, sometimes you might not talk to somebody for 3 to 4 months, 6 months and all that. And that's all right. Because if it's a true friendship, if there's actual love, actual friendship there, then, it doesn't matter how long goes by, you guys will pick up right where you left off. And it's about putting that effort in. Because sometimes, hey, people are busy, and that's okay. You get what I mean? It doesn't mean they love you any less. It just means, hey, right now there are things in my immediate vicinity that are taking priority. But you should take the time to call friends, to interact with them, to, go and see them, travel up to them. Because I know nowadays, I feel like people, I know that you just save up for your holidays. You work your job, you save up for your holidays, and there's nothing wrong with that. Go and see Spain, go and see France, Japan, anything like that. But at the same time, I know, go and explore the UK, because, especially if you've got friends who live all across the UK, that's a trip, that's an adventure. You get what I mean? Like, I think when I was driving down to Southampton, I was expecting to go on the motorway, but it took me down all these country roads, all these country lanes, a bunch of A roads, and trust me, like, it was a magical thing. Like, I know, you get to see so many sights, the greenery, and I know, even though it was raining, there was just something about it. There's some enjoyment about it. And then at the very end of that journey, I got to see a bunch of friends, which is lovely, and get to spend time with them and hang out, laugh, catch up, if I haven't done so over the phone. And I know there's something great about that. I think that's a thing you should take away from this, is spend time with friends, make time with friends, and actually, check up on them from time to time. Because, hey, people are going through things within their immediate vicinity that they might not think of, think to tell you, because, hey, you're all across the country, you've got your own issues, you've got this, you got that and the other, and you've got your own problems as well. But yeah, just give them a ring, because sometimes they appreciate that, and sometimes they might not think of it, but they do appreciate it when you do call, when you do check up, because it's like, hey, I'm keeping you in my thoughts, which, you might not be there in the forefront, but you're always there in the subconscious. And I think there's something magical about that. There's something beautiful about having that kind of friendship, because I feel like, you don't want anything. I feel like you don't want anything superficial. You don't want anything that's, I don't know, just surface, where outside, out of mind. You get what I mean? Like deep down. If it's like that in the surface, perfectly fine. But deep down, your thoughts should be with them. No matter how many issues, problems, or dealings you have within your immediate vicinity, that should be something that's always there. So if you don't have that with a friend, definitely take a look into that relationship, because that might be a very questionable relationship. Luckily, I have not had that, but I know a couple people who have had that, or have had that epiphany where it's not been, the best in that sense. So it's a good way to reevaluate your friendships. But yeah, I know this, or last week, where I was just seeing everybody, or seeing a bunch of them, it was nice to just reconnect. Well, not reconnect, but like talk again in person. And it's like being back at uni, or when everybody lived close by. It's just a nice feeling, and you sort of realize nothing really changes. I think I've been saying this like all this week, was you're just, as an adult, you're just a big kid. You're just a big kid, because it's the same drama at work, within your friends and all that you had in school. It's just, you expect people to be a lot more reasonable about it now, which, funny enough, a lot of people aren't, because emotions, they just take over, and they just make you do all sorts of things. It's crazy, but it's an interesting perspective to have, and it's an interesting thing to see, especially if you're getting out of uni or anything like that, or just getting out of school, how much friends change, how much people change, how much you change. Because between, like I was saying, between 18 to 25, you change so much as an adult. You change as a teenager as well, but I think people don't expect it. Once you turn into an adult, they think, hey, I'm 18, it's done, it's dusted, I'm gonna go and live my life, and I know who I am. You really don't, mate. You really don't, because every day you're changing, every week you're changing, and especially when you look at yourself from a year-to-year perspective, the changes are so drastic, they're so big, they're so large, like sometimes you don't even recognize the person you were. And that's not a bad thing, because that means you're growing, whether it's for the better or for the worse. You'll come to find that out. That's always something for the future to worry about. But generally, it's a good thing, because it's showing that you're moving forward, that you're growing through life lessons, through the pains, through all of that, and through friendships. At least I found it. And I know I'm going on about friendships, but I feel like this year, especially in terms of friendships, I always valued them before, but now I've come to see like how much they do mean. And I feel like it's one of those things of, sometimes I know what I'm saying, but for some people you might get it, some people you might not get it until a little bit later on, until like, let's say, a canon event. Let's bring this back to the Spider-Verse, and until a canon event happens, and then you're like, damn, I appreciate my friends. I appreciate what they've done for me. I appreciate what they do for me. And yeah, when you have that epiphany or go through that canon event, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. I know, at least for me. So I know, for me, I'm just reveling in that fact, and just making time for not only myself, for some adventures, because that's something I've really been keen on this year, is just traveling. Like, not even abroad, mate, like just across the UK, going around, seeing the sights, seeing what the UK has to offer, because it's got a lot to offer. A lot of people are so focused on going abroad that they don't see what's on your own doorstep. You get what I mean? Like, within your own city, within your own town, within your local area, or even a couple 100 miles away, or like 50 miles away, there might be a site, there might be some nice little theme park or something like that. Like, enjoy the things within your vicinity. I think that's a cool thing, because then that's low cost, and it means a lot more people can actually join you, rather than you saving up 500, 600, a grand to go on holiday to Spain, and which sounds amazing, to be fair. I would love to go to Spain. I haven't been to Spain. I've been to a couple places, not Spain for some reason, or France, which is kind of crazy, because that's where that's like the first couple of places that British people go, and I've just been like, no, I will not go there. But yeah, that's just me. People just don't think about that, like what's within your own vicinity, and what you have. And I think that's a shame. That's a shame. So if you're gonna take away anything from this little ramble about sightseeing in the UK, or appreciating things on your doorsteps and friendships and all that, it's just, be aware of what you have around you, if you get what I mean. And also, if you do have people who live far away, or I don't know, they're you guys haven't talked in a while, give them a ring, mate, because trust me, they'll absolutely love it. They'll appreciate it, and vice versa. They should be calling you as well, because any relationship, any friendship, that's a two-way street. So if you're not doing it one way, or if you're not doing it both ways, it's not going to work. So that's something to take away from this. But yeah, I guess I've been rambling for like a good minute now, and I've just looked at my laptop, and I've just looked at my watch, and I've just seen the time, and I'm just like, bloody hell, have I been going on for about half an hour? Like, this one's just blitzed right through. Yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the podcast, or at least this episode. If you, like I said, if you haven't watched the previous episode, please do go and watch the previous episode. I would really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, do all that nice stuff. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those are my personal ones. I will have an Instagram, Twitter, maybe even a TikTok when I learn how to work shorts for my podcast. That might be nice for a fantastic time. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next episode of A Fantastic Time with Taher Houssain.